would be John Cena tonight in a packed house for Monday Night Raw. So much packed that we didn't even have the traditional stage. But Cena coming out, kicking off the show, talking and hyping us up about Wrestlepalooza and what we believe to be the main event between Cena and Brock Lesnar. I thought the promo was good. I like the line from John Cena about, being the guy who founded Suplex City 20 years ago, and he's taken Brock's best over those 20 years, and now he's ready. But also adding in the note of caution, of course. John Cena said, of course, he could fail. And actually, I think Cena might. Here is a list of all the advertised dates John Cena has left with the WWE. And you can note, obviously, Wrestlepalooza, September 20th. And then we don't see Cena again until Crown Jewel in Perth on October 11th. So could it be that Brock Lesnar absolutely annihilates John Cena to the point we don't see him until the next PLE? Or could WWE do something unique and set up a match for John Cena in Perth without him even being there in the build for it? Maybe. Something interesting to think about though, so let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Who do you think's going to win? Cena or Brock? Is back, returning tonight on Monday Night Raw. After weeks of vignettes, it's great to see Bayley back, coming out tonight sporting AJ Lee merch. Bayley coming out, making the save for Lyra, who was facing a 2-on-1 beatdown by Roxanne and Raquel after just defeating Roxanne Perez in the first match of Raw, which, by the way, was an absolute banger of an opening match. We did see that confliction, though, within Bayley. We saw the voices getting to Bayley and not sure what was going to emerge from it, but it would be Hugger Bayley. Bayley would go out of the ring and just literally hug everyone, including fans in attendance. Bayley as the hugger is back, which means we definitely now need to see the return of the wacky waving inflatable tube men, 1000%, and her old theme song. Later on though, Lyra Valkyria backstage would go to Bayley's dressing room and it wasn't all Hugger Bayley then at all. This was definitely role model Bayley. So we do know now that Bayley can change these characters at literally a moment's whim. So it's interesting which Bayley you're going to get on the day. But it had me thinking. If you haven't heard the unfortunate news, NXT General Manager Ava confirmed today on Twitter that Tiffany Stratton was not medically cleared and will not be in the big 6-woman tag tomorrow night at NXT Homecoming. Instead, she will be replaced by Lyra Valkyria. And that does make me wonder, could we fit Bayley onto the NXT show tomorrow night? Because just imagine the first time you see proper Hugger Bayley back in years is on NXT in Full Sail University. Come on. High drama tonight and a lot of tension as CM Punk and AJ Lee came face to face with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. It had all the trash talking you would expect. I like that Becky Lynch brought up AJ Lee's neck because that's something that's well documented, the injury she suffered. AJ Lee addressing that, saying, I don't know what's going to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen when I came back. I just come to the ring and saw red and beat you up, basically. Seth would mention, though, how CM Punk likes to leave things when they don't work his way. So if AJ Lee basically fails this Saturday, she should be careful that CM Punk doesn't leave her. That would lead to a slap heard around the world by AJ Lee to Seth Rollins. And when Seth basically commanded Becky Lynch to attack AJ, Becky would just walk away. But it was all a plan, as then Punk would chase Seth, Becky would get back into the ring and hit a manhandle slam on AJ Lee. The first bump that AJ Lee has taken, and I'll be honest, it looked amazing. Seth and Becky stand tall tonight. Will they on Saturday? We'll have to wait and see. Penta was successful tonight in a match against Kofi Kingston. Gotta talk about it. The finisher of this match, a springboard Mexican destroyer pile drive, absolute beautiful. Look at the selling by Kofi Kingston. Later in the show, though, we'd find a downed Penta in the back as he would be attacked by the New Day. Once again, Penta laid out. The War Raiders coming to his aid, though. The match tonight was perfectly fine. The thing is, in ring, Penta doesn't need help. And that's why I think this is a really weird feud. There's nothing wrong with the matches whatsoever. They're great. But I just want to see Penta do more, man. I'd love to see Penta elevated at least to the Intercontinental title division. Honestly, him versus Dom right now would be money. And I'd love to see what Penta can do away from all this New Day stuff. Talking of Dom, though, the disrespect to Two Belts Dom tonight was absolutely absurd. Dominik Mysterio has just won the AAA Mega Championship. And what, he gets a backstage interview with Byron Saxton? It is pure disrespect that he got that segment instead of an in-ring segment to come out and tell us how he is the greatest AAA Mega Champion of all time. The man who helped Dom win the AAA Mega Championship at Worlds Collide, El Grande Americano, did battle with Dragon Lee tonight. Now, during this match, we would see AJ Styles, with one of the slowest ring runs I've ever seen, trying to come out to neutralise the numbers game for the El Grande Americanos getting involved in the match. But they just kept spawning, and the third one would lay out AJ Styles at ringside, which I'm not even going to play the game tonight. It was 100% Tyler Bate. The movements is definitely Tyler Bate. El Grande Americano would pick up the big win tonight, defeating Dragon Lee, and then they did the thing. They did the points. What's even funnier with this, they're not even trying. Look at the masks. They're totally different. Do you know what? I know a lot of people say, Pete Dunne shouldn't be doing this. Oh, Tyler Bate shouldn't be doing this. But do you know what? It's getting them on TV. It's putting them in an interesting storyline. And if they're getting to work alongside people like AJ Styles, I'm all for it. No, this should not be their gimmick for the rest of their careers. Let's make that very clear. But it's not bad. A victory tonight for Stephanie Vaquer as she defeats Kairi Sane in another very good match tonight on the show. Great to see Stephanie back in action. The focus now, though, shifts to Saturday's Wrestlepalooza as Stephanie will take on Io Sky, and it was handshakes tonight, but it was Io that would stop Asuka from coming into the ring. Asuka wanting some of Stephanie, Io not letting her do it. You've got to ask the question, could Asuka screw Io at Wrestlepalooza? We've sort of teased this turn happening. We've teased that Asuka's doing this. Could it happen this Saturday? And is it the reason that Io doesn't win the title? By the way, before the match, Rhea Ripley would declare that whoever wins, whether it be Io or Stephanie, she still wants that Women's World Championship and she's coming for the winner. What should have been a celebration for the Judgment Day tonight, well, it turned into more disrespect of Dirty Dom as Finn Balor is basically furious at Dom's relationship with El Grande Americano. Dom saying, hey, you know what? Maybe he just wants my respect. Finn having absolutely none of it and walking away from Dominik Mysterio. Well, just as Dom might actually need his friends because Rusev wants to be the next Intercontinental Champion. Oh my God. Great for Rusev, by the way. Great spot for him, but I don't like Dom's chances much. After last week's spear, it was high drama at the very start of Raw between LA Knight and Jey Uso, which we'd later find out LA Knight would be in tonight's main event in a tag match against Braun and Bronson, and he can pick his partner. He picked Jimmy, who said no, but after Jey Uso would basically tell Jimmy Uso what to do, Jimmy would then rebel and say, I'll do it. So the main event was LA Knight and Jimmy taking on Braun and Bronson because, of course, and Bronson Reed would pin Jimmy Uso for the win, and post-match, Braun and Bronson would beat down Jimmy Uso because this is literally a weekly repeated thing at this time. Jey Uso would come out with a steel chair to equalise the odds for his brother, but then LA Knight got the chair. Tension was high, but nothing happened. The two would shake hands, and then LA Knight would give Jey Uso a receipt with the BFT. I think it would make a lot more sense to turn LA Knight heel over Jey Uso, but I don't think this was a heel turn. I think this is a receipt from last week with what Jey did to LA Knight. I honestly have no idea what we're doing, but I am into it. With all the problems between the newly reunited Usos and the comparisons between Jey and the tribal chief Roman Reigns, you've got to ask the question, it's got to be Jey that turns heel, doesn't it? Surely. But let me know, as always, your thoughts in the comments section down below. Don't forget, we will be back here tomorrow for that stacked NXT homecoming. For tonight's Raw, I give it a very solid 8 out of 10. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel and turn on the notification bell. You'll never miss another upload. Like the video, share the video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace!